Okay, all right. We are here. This is Randy of All Roads Lead to Home Genealogy and honoring our ancestors and so forth and so forth and so forth. And Colonel Randall Rhodes of the Carolina Grey Ghosts Home Group Volunteers. You know, folks, I just want to come on here for a little bit. Hopefully, I might be joined by some friends. I don't know. But I wanted to talk to you folks today about a couple of different things. I'm live. So let's check one other place, and we will get on the show. While I'm doing this, what do you guys think of the two different intros? The one that had like a purple background and the one with the clock that was counting down. Or do you prefer the deep voice countdown? Because I'm trying to create my own personal reel. The other two is a work in progress. I have someone working with me on that. She is working on that to add some personalization to it, so it's more like mine and not somebody else's. As far as the creator of that, so she's going to try and like add my name, add the countdown, the host, the name of the show, and things like that, just to make it more personalized, which I think would be pretty cool if she's able to do that for me. I just want to go one other place. Whoops, do you guys eat? I don't want to do that. Well, you know what's going on here with my Facebook folks? Just give me 1 second here. It looks like that's kind of weird. Just give me 1 second. There we go. That's where I'm at. Okay, here we go. We're live there. We are live here. Excellent. Okay, so first off, to all of my followers of the various groups I belong to, let me just get them out here for you. Obviously, my personal one, Colonel Randall Rhodes. And if you take notes, I did change the images to cannons. Okay, so for those of you who follow the All Roads Lead Home Genealogy, as well as the All Roads Lead to Discover Ancestors, plus the other one, I am combining them together. Because just with just be me, mine in the store, it's too much to try and figure out what's where, who's what, and so forth. So I'm going to be combining them to one that says All Roads. In fact, let me just show it to you, folks. I got the name changed. Um, it is All Roads Lead to Honoring, Discovering Our Ancestors' Genealogy. And it has the image of the people walking across the great plains of our country back in the day. So this is going to be the go-to group. Um, I'm going to be shutting down the other two over the next 2 weeks. So I'm going to be removing. Facebook is stupid. For all the technological advances this thing can do, the only way to shut down the other groups is to delete all the members and force them to go to the new group, and then eventually archive the group that I don't want to be making use of. So it's not that I'm deleting you because I hate you. I'm deleting you because I have no choice. That's the only way I'm going to be able to shut down those groups. So it makes no sense at all. So that's what I'll be doing. Uh, so a couple of reasons why I'm here. One was obviously to tell you about the group name change. Also to tell you about let's get rid of this. To tell you about the upcoming broadcasts. Okay. Jen Woodruff, a friend of mine, has been for quite some time. She and I have gone back and forth on creating shows and so forth. Okay. And she and I have decided to go together to create a couple of shows, and this is probably going to be at least two different broadcasts. I know for a fact, because the one broadcast is going to be concerning sex slavery in the United States. Jen has a friend. Her first name is Suzanne. I think the last name is Arcado. Don't hold me to that though. But she was sex trafficked, was able to escape it and live to tell the tale. And she's now, wherever she can, she wants to get her story out there so that other women could be made aware of the situation and to take the necessary precautions to protect themselves, okay, from being possibly a victim of sex trade. Good afternoon, Mr. Morris Lee Myers. Mr. Morris Lee Myers is one of my clients, and he is the reason why I'm going to be joining the other broadcast. So, Morris, this is the shout out that next week, count it down, it's going to be Tuesday, 7:00 p.m. Unless they change the time, but it's going to be Tuesday, 7:00 p.m. It's going to be a broadcast about slavery. Okay. Morris, actually, at this point, I was able to find two direct lineage of a man and a woman, his second great grandfather and third great grandmother, who were slaves. I was able to track down the slave owner of the grandfather, not yet the grandmother, and to find out what kind of man he was. And he was not a very nice man. In fact, there's a interview between Morris's second great grandfather and the government interviewee, I guess we call it. He was tasked by the government to go across the southern states to speak to recently released slaves. This is the actual picture of his second great grandfather. It's pretty cool, right? And it's just taken during the time of the interview. And I actually have the interview here. It's short, it's brief, but it gets to the point of how he lived and so forth. I'm going to try and find out if there's more to the interview, because it seems pretty short, but it could be. Okay. So we'll be talking about his second great grandfather, his third great grandmother, as well as I do have others who were interviewed and not related to Morris, but other people who were interviewed about their experience. I'm actually going to have some videos of actual audio tapes of the interviews of other folks. Okay, so it's going to be an interesting show. Jen came up with some really neat question and answers that I'm in the process of still fleshing out. Um, the interesting thing, and she actually has one here that says, "What role did African American soldiers play in the war, and how were they treated?" Okay, um, and I actually was going through my magazines, getting organized this morning, and I came across this Smithsonian magazine, and the article was about a black uh, man in uniform. You'll be able to, Morris, who goes across the state of Texas, which is where he lives. Morris actually dresses in a Confederate uniform. And hopefully, Morris, come Tuesday, if you're able to wear some of that uniform on the show, that would be great. Even though Morris is a black man, and he knows that he came from slaves, he still supports the Confederate South. And I'll let him answer the question as to why. In fact, Morris, if you give me an answer now, I'll ask Jen to come up with some question and answers to ask of you during broadcast, if that's okay. Okay. And I'm hoping that Tuesday works for you at 7 o'clock p.m. my time, Eastern time. I'll figure it out what it is your time in Texas. But if you can be on the show, that would be great. And if you don't mind Jen asking some questions about how you feel about being a black man, descendant of slaves, supporting the South, that'd be great as well. So we'll be talking about that. She has other very cool questions, and I'm going to be taking care of that here right after I get off the broadcast. So I'm working on that. And she also has questions to ask of Suzanne, and then Suzanne's going to take the helm, and she's going to take over the broadcast, and she's going to talk for about an hour, maybe 2 hours. I don't know. Explain how she her whole experience, and it's terrible. And when you think about it, folks, it's still going on today. And I still believe, I personally believe, that our government is one of the biggest, uh, one of the biggest criminals in the whole sex slave, because they're behind the missing children coming across the border. There's over 100,000, if not more, children missing who are feared to be in the sex trade. And uh, well, that's the subject for another topic, another day. But I do personally believe that our government is behind the sex trade. 100%, 100% believe that it is. And not Donald Trump, but I think other members like Congress, the Senate, and so forth. I think they're making political money selling sex. So we'll be talking about that. So we'll be talking about the slavery. We're going to be talking about Morris's second great grandfather and third great grandmother. We're going to have the video, and we're going to have, I think, a really good conversation about something that's still taking place today: slavery. Okay, slavery can take the appearance of different forms of slavery. Okay, you can have the slavery like his ancestors lived, where they were taken away from their homeland, brought to this new world, a strange world. Maybe they didn't speak English. Maybe they spoke their native language. I do know that I believe his second great grandfather was Canadian, not Canadian, French. Let me see here real quick. Um, let's see. He was French. Okay. So his second great grandfather's name was Lassane Meyer. He was He was French, and he lived near Beaumont, Texas. So Morris, I'm not sure exactly where in Texas you live, but if you live near Beaumont, Texas, you lived really close to your second great grandfather where he lived. He was born in Abbeville, not born, but his great grandfather was born in Abbeville Parish, Louisiana, and he was a slave of Prosper Broussard. Lassan's father was a Spaniard, and his mother spoke French. Okay, so a very unique uh, merging of nationalities there, I guess would be one way of putting it. So, folks, I'm going to have that going on, and hope that you're all going to be there. We'll be making a couple more announcements between here and Tuesday. So we'll be talking about that. So Tuesday is going to be a show about slavery. Thursday will be the show about sex trade in our country. Okay, so keep that in mind. Thursday, 7 p.m. is going to be Jen interviewing Suzanne with the whole sex trade thing going on. And it's going to be Tuesday is going to be about the sex trade. Just want to give me 1 second here, folks. I want to see something here. Okay, let's see something. I can type. Okay. I just sent a message to Jen Woodruff to see if she can jump on with us and add a few words to it. Jen first introduced Suzanne to on the Dave Globin show, the Boogie the Bull. That was the first time I came into knowledge of her and her horrific experience with the whole sex trade going on. And then Suzanne went to the American Rebellion broadcast with Jerry Michaels, and again had some discussion there. But for some reason, they had some massive electronics, mechanical, whatever problems they had. They just couldn't get the interview done. Uh, they felt that whoever was trafficking her and is still trying to track her down to take her back was interfering with the communications between her and them. So I have a very strong and very stable internet. So hopefully, when she comes on board here, we won't have that same experience, and that's what I'm hoping for. That's why I offered to Jen to have her here with us. I wanted to discuss a couple more things. I'm just going to jump off because my judgment tree conversations are never very long, and for reasons. It's more meant as an introduction to the week, or just a couple odds and ends of things going on. But besides talking about that, I'm going to be bringing into try and track down some other slave owners because it was a big business back in the day, and it still is. I wanted to find my one book. Here it is. Yeah, so what I've been doing is in preparation for next week's show is as I'm going through my genealogy with my clients, I'm trying to keep track of those who have connections to slaves. And I came across a handful right off the bat of slave owners. So I'm going to try and find out more about them. There is actually several different um, what can I say? Several different um, platforms. I don't know if platform is the right word, but there's websites where you can go and you can actually dig up information about anything. Uh, and one of the things I did here is I have membership to a site called Archives, and let me tell you what, if you're looking for it, it is in there. You can find absolutely anything in the archives. And one of the things that I did was I downloaded because they have a lot of times books are written they go out of print. Okay, then they are legally able to be downloaded instead of going out and actually buying the book, because sometimes you just can't find it in a store somewhere because it's no longer for sale. So the archives actually will take these books and scan them and place them into their site. Like for example, this one here I'm going to show you here. Um, this one here is actually a 264 page book. Okay, let's make this bigger. Okay, and it's called "Slave Life in Georgia." Okay, and that's the slave they're talking about. But this particular guy actually goes to England. Slave Life in Georgia, a narrative of the life, sufferings, and escape of John Brown, a fugitive slave now in England. So I haven't had a chance to peruse this book, but it is a book about this slave who uh, escaped. And if he would have been caught, he would have been taken back to his owner and whipped pretty badly. But he actually somehow made it to London, where he lived and he was kept safe. Um, so there's a book like that. Um, I have other books here um, about slavery, slave narratives. This one here, a folk history of slavery in the United States from interviews with former slaves. This here, you see, is volume 2, right? But look at all these slaves that they have interviews with. And so I grabbed these books, hoping to find perhaps um, uh, my clients' uh, own ancestors who were slaves. This one here, as you can see, only goes up into the up to I. So I got to find the next book and grab that one and download it and see if I can find some more connections I could use. But you can see this is if you're looking for something, it's there. It really truly is. Um, Let me see if I can find the site real quick for you. Um, let's see if I can find it here. Now, some of these books are still in print, which means that uh, you can't find them for free to download. Let me just get rid of that. Anyways, um, I don't know. I'll check his name now. I'll do that. But as I was saying, the archives of this site, you can find books, you can find movies, you can find videos, all kinds of neat stuff. If you're looking to just spend some time and um, uh, get uh, deeply involved in something that you really you know comic. I mean, I'm sorry, but I'm speechless. But this archives has all kinds of stuff that will absolutely enthrall you for days, for hours on end, because it finds all kinds of neat stuff. And then when you find what you're looking for, it gives you ideas of what else to look for in the same content. That's what I found out about my client Tom Vernon's um, relationship to um, uh, the wealthy family called Manners. His uh, uh, ancestor, woman, Dorothy Vernon, married this very wealthy man. And in these archives, there are all kinds of books about them. So you just, I could, if I wanted to, I could sit here for the entire day and just download free books, and then at some point in time, find time to read over them, or at least um, browse through them to try and find stuff. Um, one thing I wanted to touch on that I think has been obviously on many people's minds is all these folks who are passing away, and uh, very important persons like Hulk Hogan, the actor from The Prestige and from other shows that we're watching, uh, dying from uh, just a day out with his family, and they're at the beach, and he gets taken in by the ocean. Same, his daughter was too, but they were able to save his daughter. Um, I'm sorry if you're going to. Good afternoon, Mr. Novart. How you doing, sir? I'm here today. I'm not sure what part you jumped in on, but I'm here today talking to my my friends here on internet about the upcoming broadcast Tuesdays and Thursday next week at 7 p.m. Tuesday is going to be about slavery during the war between the North and the South. Uh, Morris, I don't see if you can see Morris's name, but Morris Lee Myers is also watching, or he was watching. I'm not sure if he still is, but it's going to be about his ancestors, his second great grandfather Lee Myers and his third great grandmother, about them being slaves and the lives they lived and so forth. We'll be talking about other things about slavery. Jen Woodruff's going to be with me, hopefully. She mentioned that she wants to be part of this. She actually gave me questions for me to answer so we can discuss it on the show. I'm hoping that she can join me on Tuesday. If not, I'll be sure by myself. Um, but then Thursday, it's going to be the show about Suzanne, about her life being sex traded, and she's going to take over the mic. And she's going to talk about her personal experience and nightmares, more than anything, be the nightmares. So, David, thanks for joining me here today. Um, I was talking about uh, the folks who have recently died. Um, you never know when it's your turn, um, and of course, for those of us who believe, God said, "You don't know the day or time. Only I know the day or time of when it comes to an end for you." Um, we just don't know. I mean, there are many times I'll go to bed at night, and fall asleep, and I'll be in such a deep sleep that the 10 hours goes by just like that, and I'll wake up. I'm laying there, it's like, do I want to get up? I'm so tired. And I have this discussion. Do I want to wake up? Do I want to get out of bed? Oh, it's so comfortable. It's so comfy underneath the blankets. But just like that, 10 hours go by. And I know that when you die, you don't have the opportunity to wake back up and start your day over again. Um, yeah. So, and because I do genealogy, it's a study of death in a sense, people who have died. I talk to many clients about their ancestors and about the lives they lived. It's easy for me to get wrapped up in this whole life and death situation. I really don't want to, but it happens, And the next thing you know is that my computer is being inundated with these uh, newsreels and so forth about life after death. Well, that's hot. That one is definitely very hot. Let's try this one here. I'm a two-fister kind of guy. I got cups here, got cups there, full of coffee. Yeah, I drink a lot of coffee. Mm. Yeah. Okay. That's warm. Oh, yeah. Okay. Um, where was I? Oh, yes, about death. So I get these videos of people's own personal life after death scenarios, and how their experience. You know, um, along with this whole thing of slavery. If I can dig it, I'm hoping it's still out there in the world of the World Wide Web. I did a broadcast. I think it's called the Peach Bowl. I think it's what it was. It was a how do we call it a battle, but the Union had just uh, defeated the Confederates in this one area, and the Union now has control of this one town. And the head person of that town went to the commanding officer, said, "Look, we have all these black people. They just came in from wherever, and we don't want them here. Can you get rid of them for us?" So the commanding officer took all these black folks and placed them into this peach bowl. It was called that because it was a bunch of peach trees, and down in it was in an area where it's like a ravine, okay, and it was surrounded by these peach trees. So the Union soldiers took all these folks and placed all these black folks and placed them inside that peach bowl, and then they built a wall around it to keep them in. Well, then what happened is the Union soldiers didn't feed them; they left them to starve to death. And as they did, they died and they were buried. But these peach trees seemed to grow bigger and better. The peaches were fuller and juicier. And the folks realized that these trees were living off of the decaying bodies of their loved ones. So they made a decision not to eat these peaches because they felt they'd be eating their loved ones. So they died of starvation because they refused to eat these peaches. And of course, the Union soldiers refused to feed them as well. So there's a lot to be said about how possibly the Confederate soldiers or the Southern people treated the black folks, but there's a lot to be said too for how the Union soldiers and the white folks treated the the slaves and the freed slaves. They treated them horribly. In fact, I think to some degree a lot worse. So I'm going to try and find that broadcast I did. It was done really well. So I'm going to try and find that and then bring that in to my Tuesday night broadcast. So that's really what I want to come here for, to talk to you folks about. What's this? It's kind of funny how you go to the news and Trump loses big case in the Supreme Court. Trump wins. Supreme Court ruling. Trump loses. Trump wins. It's like that's an up and down life for this dude. Let's see what to say here. Supreme Court case: Trump versus the American Federation of Government Employees enables State Department layoffs by lifting the lower court's injunction this month. The on-sign order permitted the Trump administration to implement mass federal workforce reductions under an executive order. So this is it's kind of weird how you're like the commander in chief, you're the president of the country, you're the CEO of a company, right? And you just took it over, and you're trying to reel in on the budget. You're trying to save money. You're trying to cut back expensive costs. And one of the first places you go to is how many employees do you have? Can you get rid of some employees and still get the job done? And that's what he did. So he fired all these folks, and someone said, "You know what? No, we're going to fight. We're going to get some lawyers involved, and we're going to take this to court." Well, they did, and guess what? They lost. Okay, so they lost. Um, I feel bad for Trump because he wants so much to do so much good for our country, and the people who hate him so damn much, um, uh, they will do anything possible to try and destroy this poor guy. Okay, uh, it's a shame when you think about it. It truly is. Um, but I love it when he wins. I hate it when he doesn't. And I guess it doesn't matter of how many. At the end of the day, how many did you win and how many did you lose, and just go from there. Um, So fall is coming, okay? So that means our TV shows come back up. My favorite go-to program is The Rookie. Uh, so Star Trek is still making movies. Good Lord Almighty! So looks like Star Trek is coming out with a new series, or at least new movies called Star Trek Starfleet Academy debuts first trailer for Paul Giamatti as the villain. Tell you what, he looks pretty nasty. Um, But folks, I'm here for you. I have some room on my calendar. If you really want to get your ancestry done, I would love to do it for you. I can find so much for you. Ask Morris. Morris, if he's still here. I've been working on his for a while, finding some really cool pictures of his family, finding out some really neat stuff about his ancestors, and he's really excited. And there's so many more people that I have here on Facebook. That's where I find my customers, and my customers become my friends. And some of them even become my relatives because of the small DNA pool that our country is built upon. So, folks, looks like there's only two folks here, Morris and David. I'm so glad you guys are here tonight. I guess it's almost night. Again, for those of you who follow me, please keep in mind that all roads lead to genealogy. All roads lead to honoring our ancestors. All roads lead to discover ancestors. Is not being pushed into one group, and it is called All Roads Lead to Honoring, Discovering Our Ancestors. And I'll show that to you one more time so you get it into your head. Okay, get rid of that. All roads lead to honoring, discovering our ancestors' genealogy. This way, I can just keep track of one page. And that's the image you want to look for. Okay. One other thing before I kick off here. I want to show you something, folks. The folks in the South love me so much. I started off many years ago, me doing uh, ancestry, and most of the folks who initially came to me were from the South, trying to find their connection to the Confederate military, the soldiers. And I did such a wonderful job. And I'm not just bragging on me or pat myself on the back, but these are the folks who really truly love me. They um, realize how much time and effort that I put into what I do. to find the information that I do. And these folks stay with me for years. Some only a couple months, but primarily years. And one person recommends me to another, and he recommends me to another person. And next thing you know, I'm recommended to a general and the Carolina Grey Ghost. Um, uh, oh my goodness. Carolina Grey Ghost Home Guard Volunteers, General Alex Wisnet and General Michael Miskowski. I did work for them, and they were so impressed with the way I came across, with my love and concern and affection and deep desire to help the South, that they knew it was genuine and not just trying to find another client for another dollar bill. But I had my own ancestors who are from the South, and I love the folks of the South. That's why I chose to put my broadcasts about the sex slavery on the Southern groups, because the guys in the South, the men of the South, love their wives, love their mothers, love their sisters and daughters, and they would do anything to protect them. And I got the permission of General Alex Wissonet to broadcast to those groups. Okay, but General Alex Wissonet and General Michael Mikowski have felt so strongly for me uh, that they brought me in as their communications officer, and they gave me their honorable rank of colonel. Now, it's not a rank that I could go into the military of the United States Air Force or United States Army or the United States Marines or whatever. It's not a rank that I can go to the VA and say, hey, I'm a colonel. I deserve better or more benefits. But it's just a rank that I can say for myself, and I can feel honored that they felt so strongly about me, about the work and the quality of the work that I do, that they gave me the rank of colonel. Now, there are folks on here who feel I shouldn't use that in my profile. There are some folks on this Facebook that feel I shouldn't call myself a colonel. Well, maybe they're right. I don't know. But they gave me the rank of colonel to give me respect for what I do. So in return, why shouldn't I put it as part of my profile to show the fact that I uh, 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 to show the fact that I respect their uh, respect for me, and uh, that I feel so strongly that I'm part of them, that they feel so strongly about me that they would give me the rank of colonel. Okay, it's just I had to bring it out because I don't want people thinking that I'm a colonel of a federal military outfit like the Air Force, the Army, the Marines, the Coast Guard, whatever. And I've said this before, so I'm just reiterating something you folks should already be aware of, that the rank of colonel is simply an honorable, distinguished uh, uh, rank that those in the South gave me for the work that I do for them, to show respect for the work that I do. Okay. So if anyone has any problem with that, please bring it to me. Let me know why you feel I probably shouldn't have that as part of my name, or why I shouldn't have people. And just so you know, too, I'm not asking people to reach out to me and say, hey, good morning, Colonel Randall Rhodes. Hey, good afternoon, Colonel Rhodes. Hey, Colonel Randall Rhodes, or Colonel Rhodes. I'm not telling people to use that when they talk to me. Some folks feel that when they uh, communicate with me, that they refer to me as Colonel, and I think that's pretty cool. I think that's cool, and I like that. I appreciate that. So here's my personal profile. Okay, Colonel Randall Rhodes. It has images of Confederate cannons. Okay, I just recently changed it, and there is my name, Colonel Randall Rhodes. So if anyone has any problem with that, please let me know. Hey, there I am. I'm live. Please let me know, and we'll have a discussion. And if you convince me that there's a reason why I shouldn't, okay, I'll consider removing the COL from my profile name. Okay. Um, but other than that, folks, I just want to come on here primarily to tell you about Tuesday and Thursday of next week. Okay. So I do have a date set, 7 o'clock p.m. Unless for some reason um, Jen can't make it. Okay. Then I'll do another broadcast and I'll tell you what time it got changed to. So, folks, this is Randall Rhodes of All Roads Lead Home Genealogy and Colonel Randall Rhodes of the Carolina Gray Ghost Home Guard Volunteers. Oh, before I go, I want to say one thing here. If I can find it real quick. Hopefully I can find it real quick. Just kidding. I wanted to read it to you, folks. One second. If I can find it. If not, I'll just do a post. Maybe not. It was our new reason why we exist kind of thing. Oh darn it! I wanted to read it here. You'd be surprised how much can pile up on a Facebook page within a very short period of time. What's this? No, that's not it. Okay. Well, I'll do a post later about what I wanted to. Yeah, I'm gonna have to get back to you folks on that. It simply was a statement of why we are who we are, and what we're going to do. And if I remember correctly, it's essentially is if the shit hits the fan, we're going to be the group of people who are going to come out to help. We're going to give you protection, food, water, blankets, medicine. We're going to be there to protect in case shit hits the fan. And I think you folks can read into the in between lines what I mean by shit hits the fan kind of scenario. So I'll find that and I'll share back out there later. So, folks, Morris, thanks for being here. Deb, thanks for being here. If ever had if any of you folks want to go live and you don't have a platform to do it with or very steady, very beautiful. I'm actually kind of proud of what I got here. Um, beautiful setting, with a high definition camera and beautiful me. So if you guys need a way to get the word out and you want to do a platform and you need something, reach out to me. We can talk, work something out together. I got this great microphone, good ears to listen to. So, folks, I'm going to end it here. I just want to let you know that I love doing what I do. I'm not going anywhere. And in fact, you'll probably start seeing more of me and more of my broadcasts. So, folks, once again, I am Randy of All Roads Lead Home Genealogy. I'm also Colonel Randall Rhodes of the Carolina Gray Ghost Home Guard Volunteers. Saying have a great rest of your Sunday. Take care.